to the next one. Is this really a pocket pry bar? As you can see in size, it doesn't overfeed it in the size department. It's one of the biggest ones. Only this one is more lengthy, and this one of course, but I come back to this later. So is this a pocket pry bar? I would not recommend it, but I will show you why I think it's still a pocket pry bar. And why I wouldn't recommend it is because of this tip, which is quite sharp. It's a little bit the same case with this little guy. Why would you include such a sharp tip? But you can mitigate this because you can put this on your belt or on your jeans, and so the tip stays free of the tissue of your pants, whereas this would be hard to steer free. Also, it's quite heavy. It's one of the heavier pry bars. I think only this huge guy is heavier than this high carbon steel. Yeah, I think even this big guy is not as heavy. So what the benefit, it is a very strong, little and sleek pry bar. So, and how could you still use this in your pocket? Yeah, of course you can just slip it in one of the pockets, so that will be quite okay, but you see already the point going through. And you could do something else, to put something on the tip. It could also be a good thing, but you can also, if you have a larger wallet, you can just slip it in. Then it's fine, because in the larger wallet, because we put some material in, it's just completely disappearing. And because it's such a slender, elegant design, you're not missing it that much. But only with a large type of wallet that has a long dimension in one direction at least, this works. What I don't like about this clip is that it's extremely tight. So what about it's extremely tight clips is that the benefit is you will not lose your item that easily, and that's good, because especially titanium is not an inexpensive material, so even for a pry bar. And this model has solved a lot of that, because this clip is tight, but not that extreme tight as the other one, and also it already has some starting area, because it is not so flush as the other one is. I'll show you the other one. See how flush it is, it's even getting thicker there. I'll put them next to each other, whereas this little guy has more room and a far easier start, as you can see. Another benefit that I see in this design is that you still have rooms for nut tightening, loosening. The opener, I really don't like that opener that much. I don't drink beer all the time. You have a nice pry bar that has the functionality to also remove nails quite easy, and that also gives it a little bit more tip. So more tip can break easier sometimes, but this is still very sturdy, as you can see. And but also you have the benefit to do smaller screws. There's also a ring, so if you use it, you can just put something else in your hand and keep it like that, or put it outside, and you will not lose it that easily, which is a big benefit. These little things you can also use to open a window, but why would you? Because it's very close to your finger if you put the ring in, whereas this puts some distance between you and the glass, which I would always recommend. One more look. You see that it's concave at both sides. I like it a little bit more when it's concaved at one side. And that brings me to this little guy. This in weight, even less weight than the last one with the ring. There's a really nice handle area. You can fit your entire hand in easily. You have the bottle opener here on top, a little bit more room to attach something to it. Also, I like a lot that you have this edge on both sides, as you can see here. If it will focus a little bit more. Yeah. And still concave at one side on both areas. So this is almost perfection. It's also very light. I did something to counteract the lightness, so I don't know if I will keep it. I put a little flute on it. Flute can help you with getting away or have some attention, or getting your dog to come to you, which is a big benefit. But yeah, it will add a lot of, this brass will add a lot of weight unnecessarily. So you could remove this little brass part will, this little brass part will weigh more than the entire titanium pry bar. You could also use it to attach it to something, because the drawback of this, it doesn't have an attachment point. Benefit, however, because it doesn't have really sharp edges, you can just still put it in your pocket really easy, which I like. And still quite massive, as you can see. So good width. And it brings me to the last one. This AOD, so the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Group pry bar. This also has a very nice concave edge on one side and also on the other side, but this is double concave, as you can see here, so on both sides. There's also some paracord on it. Here you can see the two together, and the paracord will give you a little bit more grip, but also can help in an emergency situation. The benefit of this that you have an edge that is a little bit less pointy on one side, which I like. Also, if you want to compare the width, I can show you here that you see that even the smaller bar has a similar thickness, also similar edge, as you can see here. So these EOD pry bars are used as the prying open things. It's the biggest one that I have here, but I think it can still fit in your pocket. Also, they use this quite a lot as a shovel. It's an improvised shovel because it's a little bit wider, and also titanium, it doesn't rust. It's quite light for its size. Also, you have a lot of rope here for emergency situation. This is paracord, so it also has 7 strands in the inside to it can be opened up if you need more cord. This last one is the most suitable for heavy work, of course, because it won't break that easy. But if you ask me which one would you always carry, I would always carry this little guy. It's the smallest of them all, but it's a very good ring to put in your keychain. And it might be heavy for its size. It's also quite solid. And yeah, just a nice all-rounder. Gives you a lot of functionality in a very small size. That being said, why would you ever use a pry bar? I mentioned it already a little bit. Some people carry pocket knives, but I think in most situations a pry bar is almost as capable as a pocket knife, especially in opening things, and it won't break. Normally it never breaks or almost never breaks. You also get a lot of more ability to scrape instead of just damaging the material. Ability to pry open, sometimes also a little bit of digging. If you look at the functionality to weight ratio, this one will probably take the cake. So you have a lot of nuts, tightening and loosening options, a good cutting edge, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a very wide, nice scraping pry bar. As you can see, it's even wider than that EOD bar in some places, but because of all those holes, it's extremely light, even though it carries this Phillips head screwdriver and this blade. If you want to have the heaviest work done, this will be the guy. The benefit of those two edges that you can also use it to pry in this direction and just hammer it down, which is a nice thing to have. It's also concave at both sides, like a little bit of X, but it's not sharp. Some people do sharpen them. I think this beats the benefit of a pry bar, unless you also need a cutting edge, but it's a lot harder to take them with you. Yeah, you have to have a case then if you have it sharpened. And also this is a benefit that it's just made wide enough to be used in a molly pack, and then you would lose it because you would just cut through the molly if this would be sharp. And even in a pocket, the pocket that I already showed you that carries this wallet in a normal package. Even in the not so deep front pocket you have nice room to put, for example, this pry bar, and you could even put it in a lot deeper and just completely let it disappear. And once you need it, you just pull it out. If you put it in a deeper pocket, you can of course get it a lot deeper still. I will just remove this wallet now and will show you in a normal jeans it disappears completely, and you just can pull it out when you want. But also this front pocket, just a tad out, which is very nice. So these are some of the pocket pry bars that I would really recommend, and don't take more than one or at least two of them with you. The benefit of, for example, this guy with, for example, smaller ones that you could still use this also as a hammer, because there's quite some size to it, and you can also hammer with this back, which I like a lot. Therefore you should never let the paracord go too deep, then after, because if you then hit it with like a hammer strike, you will destroy the paracord. So you have a pry, scrape and separation tool. It's quite light, can also be used for digging, has a lot of cord to protect you. If needed, you can escape, for example, a building. You can pry open a window or destroy the glass of the window with it, and then use the cord to escape. And if I had to take two, I would take this little guy with me to just put on your keychain and forget about it. It helps to keep your chains safe. It also gives you this nut opening ability. You have an additional beer opener, and as an addition you could use this together with the other one to pry open. One could be used as a hammer, I would think the big one, and then when this is already in, you could make more room with the other. Or when you already have made some room with prying, you can put this in to keep the room if you pull the other one out, but otherwise one would be sufficient. Normally I would say just take the smallest of them all, which is this. But all these pry bars have a beneficial thing, and I don't like it to be resharpened. Otherwise it's very easy to hurt your pens. And this little guy is really pushing it with this sharp edge here, but it's when it's on your belt it doesn't matter. Also this one will be free of the fabric, but could, for example, hurt your wallet or something else that's in there. Okay, have a great day. Bye bye.